Hey, some exciting news here. TEDWomen is coming to Palm Springs. Women from all talents, business, tech, art, science, and politics. We have Pat Mitchell here to tell us more about TED Talks, if you don't know what it is. Pat is known for her leadership in the media industry, including the first woman president of PBS. She's also the former president of CNN Productions and the founder and editorial director and host of TEDWomen. The list just goes on and on. An honor to be sitting next to you. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be doing morning television again.
You started that earlier in your career, right?
At one time I was on your routine, getting up at 4 in the morning and coming to a studio very much like this. So it was a long time ago, but it feels familiar. I was on the Today Show for many years.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So quite an extensive resume. I aspire to something like that one day. But how did you end up here in Palm Springs today?
Well, TEDWomen has been moving in the 8 years since we started to different places, Washington, New York, California, San Francisco. And we thought, let's go back to California for great weather in November.
Good idea.
And thank you, Palm Springs, for that.
Smart woman.
Yes, and also one of the other TED conferences had been here many years ago and loved La Quinta and thought it was a great venue. So we're coming this year, and the news is we're coming back.
Wow, all right.
The plan is...
Just announced.
Yes, just announced. We actually haven't told the TED community yet, so this really isn't exclusive.
Wow.
We're coming back for the next 3 years to La Quinta, and we wanted to have a home, a place where women come not only from all over this country, Thalia, but all over the world. We have women from 22 countries who will either be speaking or attending the conference. So it's a global annual conference, and now we'll have a new home.
Wonderful. People cannot actually attend, though. It's already sold out, right?
It actually sells out gratefully very quickly. This year, I'd say about 60% of the people are people coming back for the second, third, fourth, and fifth time. Some people have come all 8 years, but about 50% are new, and we made that a very deliberate choice because we want to keep growing the community. So next year, look for the early registration.
Early bird special.
I think we're going to announce the opening of registration shortly after this conference.
Okay.
So sign up early.
Well,
because
let's get
it really
to what
does.
it is.
Yeah.
What is it? What can people expect to hear from TED Talks?
Well, you watch TED Talks online on TED.com.
I do.
As I hope everyone does. Well, these talks are done live at conferences. There's the Big TED, as we call it, in Vancouver every year. There's TED Global at various places in the world. And then there's TEDWomen, which we started 8 years ago to give this platform to women. Women leaders, women, as you say, from across all sectors, from artists to activists to business leaders to scientists, physicians. The talks are wide-ranging, but they're always about an idea worth spreading. I mean, that really is a meaningful tagline for TED, because every TED Talk has a big idea, a takeaway for you or me. So all of the talks this year, as in all TED conferences, are about that. They tell compelling personal stories, experience, research, things that are shared, but always about what's the idea here that will be inspiring, informative, make a difference.
That's the word I was just going to use, inspiring. But even though you can't go, you can still watch it online, what's happening in La Quinta over the course of the next few days?
There are a few passes left of what we call TED Live. And TED Live gives you the opportunity to sit in the comfort of your living room or wherever and watch one session or all 6. There's 6 sessions of TED Talks at TEDWomen. So we start Wednesday afternoon at 5, then we go all day Thursday, and then Friday morning. So if you wanted to subscribe, you go on TED.com and you'll see somewhere on there TED Live, and you can sign up that way. There are a few of those left.
Okay, excellent. Well, while I have you here, I just need to know, because you have such a wonderful resume and history, how do you find the confidence to go for your dreams, to live the life that you've lived? I know you have 6 children, and you're a
and 13 grandchildren.
And 13 grandchildren, and a true professional who's done so much over the course of her life. Where do you find that kind of confidence within to go for it?
You know, I don't think I had a choice about whether to go for it, because I had dreams much bigger than where I grew up and my surroundings and environment. But I had one of those great grandmothers, you know, who always told me, honey, you can do anything you want to do. And she also gave me another very big important piece of advice. She said, don't worry about falling, because at least falling on your face is a movement forward.
Great point.
And so you have to be willing to risk failing. And I did. You know, I lost jobs. I was working for companies that went out of business. You know how television shows come and go.
Yes. And we don't hear about those failures, so I'm glad you're saying that, because we see the resume of success.
I've actually written a book about just that, that if we can't look at each opportunity as, yes, it may not work out just as we think it might or want it to, but it often leads, and it did in my life, to something even bigger, richer, more enriching for me personally, and a professional growth experience. So it's not just confidence, it's the courage, you know, to take the risk.
And these are the type of nuggets, folks, that you will hear from TED Talks, right?
Yes, and many more.
Inspiration. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
Such a pleasure.
Wonderful to meet you.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back.